So I want to kind of ask, in relation to this way of thinking, and to this mind frame, why is, I guess, it's so important for us to be thinking this way, about our lives, and how does this kind of help us create better lives for ourselves?
So you're talking about personal development?
Yeah.
Whoa. The thing is, I think personal development is a gift we give to others.
Mm.
And let me explain what that means. So when I say it's a gift we give to others, when we become a better human being, when we develop ourselves, when we grow on the positive side, when we do the right thing, people around us somehow adapt to that because they say you're like the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if everybody around you is negative, guess what? You're going to get stuck in that
Yep.
negativity. So when you
Wow.
start to develop yourself, and you find sometimes personal development is very interesting. Once you discover that you want to be a better person, you want to become a better human being, you want to grow and develop yourself, you find your clique of group of friends, family start to drop off. Because either that, if you're not strong enough, they'll hold you back because they'll come up
Yeah.
with things, excuses like, who do you think you are? What, you're trying this new thing? What about if you fail? So they give you all this negative stuff. And if you're not strong enough, guess what? You won't make a move.
Yeah.
But the minute you start making a move, those who see it and see the beauty of it, they will see you transform. And somehow, by association, they start to conform to that a bit. Because if you're a nice person and you were always crazy, people go, what happened to you? And then suddenly they also conform to it because you're always kind, you're always nice, you're always patient. You're always the one that's going, hey, let me help you, let me support you. What's going on? I'm not judging you. But before, maybe you're the type, anything happened, you're gossipy type, you judge people. You're constantly on the negative. The minute you switch from negative to positive, the world just opens up for you. It's just like the universe, the cosmic law. It just says, hey, come on, my child, you're doing the right thing. Let me help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So
Absolutely.
I love that because it also definitely emphasizes the power that we have to change the world around us for the better. I know personally in my experiences, I've been encouraged to I guess engage in better habits just by what I've seen around me. I've felt challenged to push myself further by what I've had around me, and the opposite. I've also been in the situation where my friendships I've lost friends just by wanting to take a step up and challenge myself. So, the quote does say, like, you are what you hang around. And it's just as simple as that. Yeah.
There's one, I think the famous one was, you're like the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if 5 people, like when we're talking about business, for example, say if your 5 friends are millionaires, you're going to be the 6th. But if they're not, you're going to be the next loser in the category, whatever that is, whatever their habits or daily activities are. So it's very powerful. You choose who you hang around.
Yeah,
And this
absolutely.
includes family. I'm sorry, but we talk about our friends and people on the outside, but our worst enemies are our own families, because sometimes our families have the fear that you might advance, you might be good. Instead of them feeling like we are your support, they start breaking you down. Like, nobody in our family has ever done that. Like when I was writing my book, my family wasn't so skeptical, but a lot of people around me was like, we don't know anyone who's ever written a book, and what are you going to write a book about anyway? You get all this negative stuff, and then the minute, for me, I'm one of those people, I'm very strong. I'm not a product of other people's conclusion, which is something I'm going to talk about as we go along. Most people are a product of other people's conclusion. Most people don't. Nobody's even me. To some point, I do some things like that, but not always. Everybody has something, and a lot of that could be family. Conditioning. You just do things because everybody else does it, but you've never stopped and said, why am I doing this? Why did they do this? Where did I learn this from, and how does it serve me? It's just one of those things. And if you don't pay attention, that's what you roll the whole of your life.
Being defined by the people that you are around. And I think sometimes people fall into the trap of that. And as you said, it's not just friends. Sometimes it is family, and you are you are the company that you keep. And so I think that it's really important to have those people close by that are really pushing you, and also, what would you say, I guess, if your family or friends are out there and kind of giving you that that negativity, would you say to kind of block those things out, or would you kind of advise that, you know, just keep powering through?
You know, I say two things every time I meet anybody. It doesn't matter, even my own mother, they know I'm very strong. I always say, even my child or my friend, my sister, whoever you are, if you cross the line and I cannot support and help you to be a better human being, I'm going to have to let you go. Because it's nothing, you can't force change on people. You can only change yourself. So my thing is, when I see people, my family or anybody, my question is, you're either coming from a place of love with whatever it is you're saying to me, or it's a cry for help. So which one is it? It's either one of the two, fear or love.
Yeah.
And if we identify that, and I find when I confront people with those two things, they think, because if you're negative, you're not coming from a place of love, that's for sure.
No,
and
absolutely.
You're being questioned. How comes you're feeling like you're coming from a place of fear, a place of, you know, it's a cry for help. What is it that we need to do for you to help you, to support you? Because you're obviously in a negative bubble and you're coming from a place of fear and a place where you're crying for help. So this is how I look at it for me.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
do you remain in close relationship with family to the extent that they don't bring you down? Like if you have someone that doesn't necessarily believe in you, but they still not believe in you, sorry, but they don't believe in your vision just because maybe they don't have the range or the perspective to even to perceive that that's something that can be done, but yet they love you, I guess. Do you have that? Or is it just like, if you can't see my vision, I just can't be around you? Like, where's your line?
So let me just, what I say for myself, I'm going to give you my examples with what I do. So when I find I've got a family member who's like that, or people you don't want to lose, even friends, you don't want to lose them because you can see they're not on the same page with you. I don't talk about my dreams. I don't talk about my vision. I don't talk about anything to them. So you know what? You have to remember this. It's like friendships. You know, you've got different type of relationship with everybody. So it's almost like when I'm with you, if you're on the same page with me, I'll talk about my dreams. I'll talk about my visions. I'll go, well, this is what I'm doing. But if I'm with you and you're a negative family member or friend, what do we have in common? Do we go for a walk together? Do we eat together? What is it we do? That's all I'm going to talk about. So I will never, ever talk to you about anything that inspires me, because I know you're not on that level. So
boundaries. You're speaking to boundaries.
You choose to do that because they don't know that. So it's you decide, okay, I'm talking to her. This is all we can talk about. I'm talking to so-and-so. This is how we can roll. So you just segment everybody into compartments.
Which means you don't have to cut people off completely, you know.
But when you get busy and you start really getting to know who you are, you don't have much time with these people anyway, even your own family, because you're doing you.
That's true. That's very true.
Anybody who's a little bit negative is out, according to you. I know that. You don't tell them, but you don't have time. So every time they call you up, like, you're like, I've got only 2 minutes. What do you want? That's it.
Yeah, we love that.
I love it.
And
I love
think
it so much.
And when you speak about that, I think that, you know, subconsciously, I think that when you're talking about, you have different friends that you go to for different things, and you speak about particular things with them, you know, that you may not speak about with other friends. And I think that that is something that we all kind of subconsciously do. And it probably is us protecting our dreams, or protecting those things that we're like, you know, I don't feel comfortable talking about this with you because I feel this negative energy, or this type of feeling that's coming from you that, you know, maybe means that I'm not safe in kind of telling you my dreams or telling you these things, but I'm going to talk to you about the things that I do have in common with you. And I think that that is probably something that is so powerful to kind of get through these relationships, especially with family and friends. If people listening out there kind of do feel that there are people in their lives that are dragging them down, I absolutely love that.
The inverse of that, though, and this also, it happens, is that people don't actually consciously or subconsciously make those separations, and what happens is they have expectations of certain friends, and then they become disappointed. Do you know what I mean? So, and I think we get to the point that you're at, Katinda, by going through it. So I don't know if you all relate, but once upon a time we go through an experience where you share your vision to the wrong person, and you just leave that situation feeling discouraged. And so now you know what I mean? So I feel like you have to kind of go through it sometimes, because ideally we would be able to share it with everyone we love and feel encouraged and motivated by that.
But somehow you would know, like they do say, I mean, again, family, it's a bad thing because I'm going to use family. They say you never tell your dreams to small-minded people. I'm sorry, it's your family, but not everybody's going to be happy that you're excelling in a way that they never did, because we're still human. Forget the family connection. We're still human. So maybe it could be your mom who's thinking, I tried to do that, and because I got pregnant, I got married, and I never did my dream. So suddenly I've got this kid who's doing her dream, and inside her, she's going, I want her to excel, but at the same time, she's thinking, maybe she's got a bit of resentment about it. I don't know. It's just very complex with family. And
I definitely think,
I think it's best sometimes to just shut up and do what. No, seriously. Because I find, and this is something I found even from reading a lot of books, they talk about cosmic laws. When you're on a good thing and you're trying to achieve something, when it's incubating, it's best to shut up until it's ready. It's like a baby. You wait, and then when the baby's born, you go, voila, I got a baby now, come and see it.
Because no one can do anything at that point. They
with ideas, it's very important, because if you're not very strong and somebody shoots you down, guess what? You won't continue with the idea, because you'll start thinking failure. You'll start thinking, what if they're right? Nobody else has ever done it. What if they're right? Then you don't do your idea, and then somebody else does it. And you go, that was my idea. I never got to do anything because my mother said this or my brother said no. So I think silence, just keep quiet. Do your thing. Once it's born, give it to the world.
Exactly. And you know, they say opinions are free, guys. Opinions are free. So just remember that.
Yes, and you don't have to take everything on board.
We can dish out opinions all day.
For sure. And I think that that's really important, because, you know, going back to what you were talking about, by, you know, understanding that you have the tools and you have it within yourself to kind of to create this energy for yourself. And you know, it's not defined by those external things, and that may be that relationship or that job, but it's also the people around you as well, and making sure that they kind of don't bring the energy down that you are setting for yourself. And so I think that that's really, really important, you know, understanding that we have the tools to make sure that we are protecting our vision, we're protecting our passions, and we're protecting our dreams as well. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, you know, when we are kind of hitting a roadblock, whether that's, you know, a particular event or a particular crisis in our lives, and we are kind of shaken by it, and trying to kind of stand strong in it and trying to preserve our energy. You know, a lot of people do fall into victimhood and thinking, you know, that it's all crumbling down, and, you know, it can be quite tough for them. Can you tell us a little bit about, I guess, victimhood, and why that doesn't really kind of help us in any sort of way to kind of power through these roadblocks?
Okay, so first of all, being a victim, how do people become a victim? Is that because they tell themselves they're victims, or does somebody say you're a victim? You know, it's, again, you're going to figure out, where did you find that word? Is it because somebody said you're a victim? Is it because you feel you want to have a pity party and you want people to feel sorry for you? So I think really being a victim does not pay you, does not serve you in any way, because then people will feel sorry for you. Maybe like you'll tell me your sad story and I'll go, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Then what? I walk away, you're still a victim. So nothing has changed for you. But what about, instead of being, I always say, like in my book, I say, don't be a victim of change, be a force of change. Because when you're a victim and you believe you're a victim, it takes a long time to get out of victimhood. And it, again, it goes back to the people around you. If people around you are all the type that are all crying poor, crying victim, self-pity, then who's going to lift who up? All of you are going to be in the same boat, and you'll be there for 5-10 years, easy. By the time you wake up, if you're 20, you're 30, or you're 30, you're 40, and you're like, oh my gosh, how did I get here? What happened to my life? So I believe there's nothing wrong with feeling sad. You know, life is life. You know, human beings, it doesn't matter who it is. We have things that happen to us. You know, we have deaths, we lose jobs. You know, there's a lot of nasty stuff that comes our way. But again, I believe there's always lessons to learn in everything that happens to us. So the way I look at it is like, if something goes wrong or is not what I wanted, I try to look, because I have that emotional maturity to know, I start looking for what is there to be learned. What do I need to learn from this lesson? What is this teaching me? And then how do I improve to ensure that next time this doesn't happen to me? So what are the steps? You know, like talking about it is one thing, but what are the steps we can do? Number one, you can take a piece of paper and write down, what is my challenge right now? What's happened to me? What am I feeling? Maybe think about your emotions. What am I feeling right now? I'm angry. I'm pissed off. I want to revenge on somebody because they did this to me, or they judged me harshly, whatever. Write that down. And once you write that down, start figuring out, why do I feel like this? What exactly happened? Why? What is a trigger? And if you write these things, people think, you know, they listen. And the one thing I like to say to people, don't just listen and think, oh, it's just another podcast, another, you know, do some, execute. Because once you execute, it works. You know, you write it down. And I'm not even saying write it on a computer. Use a pen and paper.
Yeah.
Write it. Get from your head to your hand. It's got some magic to that. And what you do is you write down what you're feeling, why the triggers, what happened to you, and how can you improve for the future. You're already self-sorting yourself, and you're already healing yourself, rather than sit there resenting, if it's someone who's maybe said something or did something. So you sit there resenting them, hating on yourself, getting mad, getting angry, getting stressed, getting headaches, getting anxiety. Then if you're not careful, it becomes depression. What for? It's not worth it.
Exactly.
It's not worth it at all. So it's best to just, you know, when things happen to you, just take it like, okay, this is a lesson. What am I learning from it? What can I do to help myself and make sure it doesn't happen next time? And you just evolve and grow. And if you see other people doing stuff which is stupid, because we see that all the time, rather than being a judgmental type of person saying, oh, why did you do that? Hey, I can support you. Figure this out. Let's work together. And this can be family, this can be friends. You don't have to always go, oh my gosh, there's this problem. What do we do now? Let's sit here and gossip and find, or eat or whatever, do something. No. How can we work together, support each other, and find solutions to this problem? Because problems, and I say a problem is a problem when you have no control over it, and when a human being cannot fix it. So most of the time, anything we have that's going wrong, a human being can fix it. But if a human being cannot fix it, let it be, let it go. It's not your problem anymore. Just surrender.
Yeah, definitely.